What's up, my fellow viewers? And today we're going to talk about a very big problem that's been occurring in outcome memories. Tripwire. You either love her or you want to burn her down like all the rest of us. And by doing a full analysis, we're going to answer the question, is the hate on her valid? First up, Tripwire was added in the 0.2 update, costing 998 rings, has a zoner trapper playstyle, and considered one of the most broken killers in the game. Now on to one of my favorite parts, the chase themes. Take a listen. The literal definition of peak. Now, onto the things that make Tripwire one of the most broken killers in the game. First off, let's talk about her double jump and glide. Double jump allows her to jump twice. Just like Eggman, she can jump in mid-air, countering certain characters like Tails, Blaze, Silver, characters that can go to high points that the killer couldn't with just one singular jump. But onto the glide now. Glide is one of the most broken passives, since after she double jumps, she can glide throughout the air, which goes 2 times the amount of speed her normal sprint speed is. So basically, this means that if you start on a high point against a survivor, you immediately have the advantage against them. Since you have double the speed, it can catch up to them very quickly due to her glide. Although glide has a 5-second cooldown, this is basically meaningless, because 5 seconds goes by really fast, which will allow them to spam glide a lot. Anyways, onto her sonar. She doesn't have an ESP ability like 2011X or Colossus does, but you know what she has instead? A tracker. Yup, an ongoing tracker that tracks the nearest survivor to her the entire match. This is very helpful in case you're struggling trying to find the survivor, because even though that ESP abilities are slightly better than her sonar, they have a cooldown and can't be used constantly while moving. This is also very helpful if you lose them whilst in the chase, or specifically for me. Let's say you're on Green Hill. If I'm 2011X and I'm chasing a Tails and they jump off the bridge without me knowing, I'll have no idea that they'll be there because, I don't know, I'm blind or something. But with Tripwire, this will help me because I can still find them because it highlights them every, I think it's 1 to 2 seconds? I don't know. It doesn't say in the wiki, but we'll assume that for now. Now to talk about her actual abilities. First up, her slash. Her slash deals 25 damage as well as applying the bleed effect. Wondering what the bleed effect is, huh? Bleed deals damage based on how fast the survivor is moving. So if you are a Tripwire and you slash at Eggman, for example, if they are standing still, they will only take 25 damage in total. But if it's a Sonic and they're moving after using peel out while you give them a slightly friendly tap, they will take about 10 extra damage due to bleed because of how fast they're going. Although Tripwire's M1 does the least amount of damage compared to 2011X's doing 45 damage, and Colossus is doing 50 damage, I think, or 55. However, her abilities make up for it, as I will show later. Now onto her next ability, Brighter Day. Brighter Day is the little diamond hanging over her head that shoots out a light that hits the survivors, dealing 6 damage per hit, as well as applying the bleed effect. This is best for finishing low health survivors since Brighter Day has a pretty long range, and if the survivors are under, let's say, 20, then all you need to do is give them 4 friendly hits. knocking them or killing them depending on the situation. Fun fact, Brighter Day also creates an energy field that slowly takes out the survivor's health, just like the bleed effect does if stepped on. This is done by hitting it onto a wall, ceiling, or the floor. This adds to Tripwire's Trapper playstyle since it blocks off the survivor's paths just like one of her next abilities do. Now Reach Out is one of those, let's say, brain dead abilities. Reach Out allows Tripwire to unleash big black tentacles that grab the survivors closest to her. This can grab up to 3 survivors and has a 85 stud radius, which is pretty small or big depending on what map it is. It does 5 damage per second if not near her, but it does 1 damage every 10th of a second if near her. So theoretically, you could do 40 damage in 4 seconds if you use Reach Out at the perfect time when the survivors are next to you, taking out most of their health. However, there is a way to stop Tripwire's Reach Out. This is by stunning her. The only downside is that whoever stuns her gets deal 25 damage as well as getting shock, unless they're a ranged stun like Amy, Tails, or Blaze. Wanna know what shock does? Shock stops the survivors from using their next ability. For example, let's say a Metal Sonic stuns Tripwire after using her Reach Out. He gets 25 damage as well as getting shock. He then uses self-heal, right? But he uses self-heal, but it is immediately cancelled due to the shock effect, allowing him to wait 15 more seconds to use it again. This is very good for Tripwire because let's say you're chasing the survivor that just stunned you after using Reach Out. If they try to use any abilities to escape, shock will cancel them out, giving you a higher advantage and a higher chance of killing them. Now, the moment you have all been waiting for, her Step. Step is one of the most, I wouldn't say broken, but still very overpowered. Step, also known as trip mines, are just a bunch of placeable mines that can be put up to 10 per map, and each mine doing 35 damage each, as well as pulling the survivor towards them if near. This is very fun because it adds to, like I said, Tripwire's Trapper playstyle, cutting off any areas that survivors need to go to, like, let's say, a looping path. This completely cuts them off and gives them a punishment. Oh yeah, and trip mines can also be used for some very deadly combos, which I will show later. Now, I want to show you guys some gameplay on how to use Tripwire, or how she is usually used. I don't know. I kind of sell here, but whatever. It's still pretty good. Enjoy! Oh yeah, and I forgot to mention, as of recording this, I did forget to mention that trip mines also apply the shock effect, so just keep that in mind. I'll be explaining my thinking while I play this. Okay, so here, I'm beginning the match by placing down as many mines as possible to set up all my traps for any possible looping spots that the survivors could go to. This part takes a while since I'm going throughout the entire map, but if you keep watching, this will show you some good spots for this map. I forgot what's it called. I think it's Dark Caverns or something. Yeah, but you can skip it if you want. You don't have to watch this part. Now my bombs have all been planted, or mines. Now I can actually go for the survivors. There you go, see? My sonar is helping me out. Let's get that cream since she's most important. You see, as Tripwire, you always want to go for the weakest. Like cream. Cream can't really do anything if her team doesn't help. Let's see. And we'll finish her off with a brighter day. And we'll make sure to use that electricity field for any survivors that try to heal her and take out some of their health. Look, see, I plant a bomb here because while the cream is down, if a survivor comes and tries to help, they will die, or at least take some damage while trying to help the cream. And see, already a guaranteed kill. Let's see, let's put another bomb. There's someone up there. Oh, it's Eggman. Now this is a perfect opportunity to get some damage with reach out. That's weird. Eggman didn't get as much. Silver knocking back, that's okay. Just chase him a little bit. Give him a little heads up not to bug us. Oh, look, see? A bomb placed right there. Eggman stepped into it. Now we can finish him off easily. Okay, now we're gonna place a bomb next to him. Okay, that was my bad. I kinda sold. Let's see them. Oh, Silver stepped in my bomb. Perfect. Now we're gonna finish aiming off. Actually, let's get Silver. They're the lowest. Oh, see? Stepped right into my bomb. Now we can just place some more bombs so that when his teammates come, they'll run right into them. Oh, someone's putting my bomb over there. Right there. Ow. Yeah, this was a glitch when I first played it. Let's see, let's take out Sonic's dodge meter. Okay, let's get him. Silver. Over here. And now we always want to make sure to use glide when we need to get some distance back. Okay, Silver's one hit, so we can easily use Brighter Day to finish him off. There we go. 2 down, 3 to go. Let's replant our bombs. You always want to replant your traps just in case. Oh look, the Sonic ran into it, and I found Eggman and killed him. Now we just need to find Metal Sonic. Then it's gonna be an easy win. And let's see. The Sonic's over here, so let's put a bomb just in case. I don't understand why my sonar isn't tracking anyone. Weird. Maybe it's on the other side. But let's keep searching over here just in case. Oh, he didn't heal him in time. Okay, so now it's a Metal Sonic LMS. That might be a problem. Let's see. Luckily my sonar has a pretty long range, so I'll be able to find him. Oh shit, I went the wrong way. See. Now I think I have a good amount of traps, so we should be set. Where is he? Oh, right there, I see him. Okay. Now right here, I should have placed a trap, but obviously I didn't. But for next time, I'll remember that. Now I dodged that charge. Now I can grab him, get some little tick damage off. Again. The annoying thing about a Metal Sonic LMS is that they have a high damage reduction whilst having lots of HP. They're getting pretty low, but it's cutting it close. What was that heal? Yeah, see, here would have been a perfect opportunity to place a mine, but I didn't. Oh shoot. And here I ran into an idiot and got stunned. Now we can finish off with Brighter Day. There we go. And that's how to efficiently server wipe with Tripwire. Now this part wasn't actually in my game, but it's something I ought to share. So the one thing that people hate a lot about Tripwire is that she can place her bombs right next to the green ring. So as you can see, this Tails is kinda struggling since all my trip mines are next to the ring. He can't go unless he has his glide. But if you think about it, I can literally just use reach out and grab him. Watch, see? I grab him and he's basically dead. See? Now this next part is going to be about some text I found with Tripwire. The first one up is what I like to call one shot. It's where you combine 3 trip mines and 1 reach out. It can basically one shot every character except for Metal Sonic, or cause glitches like this. As you can see, he's now underground, unable to move, giving me an easy win. Or, well, I have to still wait for the timer to go out, but hey, basically a kill. Now this next tech I found, it's called Trip-Bound, where if you double jump on top of a spring and glide at the perfect time, you can do this. See how after I jumped off the spring, I could double jump again as well as glide. It's a very neat technique, but it's pretty hard to do. As you can see, I'm kind of struggling as I try to do it again. But on to the next one. Now the next one I like to call, it's a wall jump, or like basically a wall climb. So Tripwire can actually climb onto walls like Colossus. Well, not really. So the mines that she places down on the walls, they have a slightly big hitbox, meaning Tripwire can stand on them like stepping stones. But it's very hard to do, since obviously as you're watching it, I'm failing miserably. But I hope you guys can do this. Now with that done with, sorry, I swing in my throat. Now with that done with, let's get into bounce changes. First up, her step. I would say reduce the damage from 35 to 25, as well as increase invisibility frames for survivors after they get hit, and increase visibility of the mine so that survivors can have an easier time seeing them when walking throughout the map. Also, I would say increase the minimum distance between mines since they're still fairly close to one another, which will cause some very, very big combos. Now the last nerf I think that trip mines need is make it a slightly smaller physical hitbox, since as one of the techs, Tripwire can climb just like Colossus. I would say make it slightly smaller since this is pretty OP, but still make it doable for this tech to be done, because, I don't know, I mean evil to just take it away. Now onto her reach out. I would say increase the maximum amount of survivors that can be grabbed from 3 to 4. Next, the damage per second should be decreased from 5 every second to 3 every second when not touching the force field, by the way. But when touching the force field, I would decrease from 10 to 8 per second. I would also wish that reach out has a slightly bigger range. I don't know, but based on what slightly bigger means. Also, for the punishment for being stunned, I wouldn't say keep it 25. I want it to be 15. 25 seems a little too much. 15 would be better. Now it's a brighter day. I would say increase damage to 7 per hit and have a slightly shorter range. Also, bleed doesn't inflict as much damage, like when you see the little like electricity things and stuff, like the little electrical field. I would say that doesn't decrease as much as bleed, but still does a pretty good amount. And now to her glide, I would say reduce the amount of speed in the air from 2 times her sprint speed to 1.6 times her sprint speed, but increase the air time, meaning how fast that Tripwire goes down to the air, and make it slower. Also, the cooldown for every time they use it should be increased from 5 seconds to 10 seconds. And now to her sonar. I'll say her sonar needs a slightly larger range for tracking survivors down. And now for some quality of life changes. The sonar arrow should be a little bit easier to see, since some maps like Angel Island can make it hard to see. And Trip Mine should always be visible to Tripwire, just like how John Doe can see his digital footprints anywhere. Also, her glide should make a whooshing sound effect when near survivors so that they actually have a chance to, react. Also, it makes it sound cool and stuff. Also, there should be like a little UI that shows how many survivors were caught by a reach out. Like, I don't know, maybe like in the top right corner or the bottom corner. I don't know. Also, there should be a visible cooldown bar for glide, since when I do it, it's pretty hard to tell when I can use glide again or not, instead of just constantly spamming it until, I don't know. And also, there should be a visual effect when bleed hurts a survivor. Like, let's say they get slashed by her M1. There should be like some sort of thing on the screen, maybe like a red border, that after bleed happens, it should be on the survivors. Since, I don't know, it seems a little cooler that way. Now, thank you guys for watching this video and hopefully making it to the end. Please like and subscribe, and I think my next video is going to be a rant, or it might be Sea of Thieves, either one. Also, I implore you guys to try Outcome Memories. It's a very, very good game. Also, now to answer the question that I said in the beginning of the video. Was the hate for Tripwire necessary? Yes, technically, I think so. But if the devs follow through the changes that I made, this could possibly make Tripwire actually balanced compared to her somewhat very, very broken status right now. But what do you guys think? After these changes that I made, do you think she's still broken or balanced? Let me know down in the comments below, and I'll see you guys in the next one.